Hey everybody, welcome to Three Guys Garage.
Yeah, right, we got our buddy Andrew here, brought the killer toys, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers full-on race truck.
Yeah, man, we're gonna tell you a little bit about the sport, because when you strap into this thing, you're strapping onto a bunch of adrenaline and a bunch of fab work behind it. So get ready, guys, grab the coffee, hold on, this is gonna be awesome. There's no other way to describe Ultra 4 racing except for beast mode. I mean, take a look at this thing. Forged from American tungsten. This is steel, baby. It's kind of like having T-Rex as a pet. You go for a ride in this thing, you come out with a full man beard. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so Andrew, man, tell us a little bit more about the sport, because a lot of these people aren't familiar with, you know, Ultra 4, King of the Hammers.
So Ultra 4 racing is a mix of rock crawl and desert racing. It's kind of, they smash right together. So this car has to be able to go 100 miles an hour through anything and over anything. So a lot of what we do is it starts kind of with the power plant. So this is an LS-based power plant, roughly 550 horsepower.
It's gotta be tough, man. You gotta go 100 mile an hour, it's not a big deal until you're going over berms and jumps and hitting high impacts, and then you've gotta crawl and smash over rocks. And so this thing's gotta get you home after what? How many hours and miles would you put in a King of the Hammers race?
For a King of the Hammers race, we can do close to 200 miles, and I'd be in this car about 8 to 10 hours.
So tell us a little bit about like suspension. How much travel do you guys use?
So this suspension package consists of a coilover and a bypass shock. They're both doing a little bit different job. 16 inches of travel all the way around. That's to handle the whoops. So when you're sitting there skipping off the top of these desert bumps, also rock crawling has the articulation to climb over whatever we need. You know, there's a lot of safety features in this thing, whether it's breathing systems, the seat belts, custom seats.
Oh, so that's not a hookah in there, that's fresh air for your okay, all right.
That's clean air, yeah. Just
Right on, man. Now you're a driver and an owner of the shop, so you guys are building these, repairing these. I mean, what kind of things you guys do in there?
Yeah,
full ground up?
Yeah, we do full ground up builds, a lot of Jeep restoration work. Everything with us starts with sticks of tube and welding.
Nice.
So that's just it, man. You have to maintain these vehicles not just in the shop, right? You have to be able to fab it out on the trail when things break, when you tip it over. You got to have a lot of fab, a lot of tech.
I can see a lot of the tools hanging off the side, so you guys are jumping out, fixing things on the fly. Yes. But you got to build them hopefully tough right from the get-go.
Yeah, these things got to be solid, not only to save your life, but to be able to handle whatever we're going to throw at them. But yeah, things always can happen. And when we're out there, it could be just me and the co-driver out there, you know, trying to get this thing fixed.
Look, man, this show isn't all about standing around a cool car, although we could spend hours talking shop and bench racing. But we've got ESAB in the house. We've got a full lineup of fabrication and welding equipment. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, it's gonna be full on cutting metal with fire.
This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by StarTron, enzyme fuel treatment for all engines.
You know, as promised, welcome back. We've got the full-on fab project. Andrew, man, tell us what we're going to be working on today.
We're gonna be building a 9-inch, a Ford 9-inch dropout for one of my race cars.
But this already looks like a full-built 9-inch. So, so what gives?
Not yet, not yet. They need to be a little tougher than that. Hold that thing up. I'll show you kind of what we're going to do.
3/8 steel. I mean, come on.
So we're going to be using a fabricated rough stuff 9-inch housing.
Okay. So
and
this
start
is
adding
sit
the trusses to it.
right on top, and then we plate it off, right?
Yep, we're going to have to add the plates. That'll sit right on top.
Some extra
We're going to have
there.
to cut and form these to drop in the centers to really beef it up.
Fit, man.
No.
We're going to have some
We're
work.
going to have to make this one fit.
Yep.
All right.
And then what do we got here?
For that extra protection,
Spin it right here.
and because of the way I drive,
Yeah.
we're going to even have to put some more on. We're going to drop this on the backside of it.
Nice. All right, and then we've got some flanges to go on the outside.
Yep, we'll have flanges on the outside to run a Dana 60 spindle.
Nice.
So
and
when
then
this
cap it
thing's
all off,
done,
we'll have
it's
a
the
third
full
member.
Gorilla version.
That'll be ready to go.
All
yeah,
right.
and as you can tell, it fits really nice.
Yeah, right on. But luckily, Andrew here is sponsored by ESAB. So you got in your shop a full array of ESAB equipment, and you kind of brought some goodies for us to play with.
I got all the toys. I brought you guys some stuff to
Man,
play with.
Go over here
Unreal
and
stuff,
check some of these out. Now, ESAB's been around for 110 years. They've invented just about everything. This is their Heliarc machine because they invented Heliarcs. This is a TIG. Now, back in the day, a 250 amp setup might draw 110 amps out of the wall. I mean, literally fry the socket. But this 280 setup can use a measly 50 amp socket to build literally a tank.
Yeah, and that's all because of the electronics, the components internally in that.
Yeah,
it's
tons of
water
controls.
Yeah, man, the thing's got all kinds of bells and whistles. Now, here we go. Now, this is the Big Master 280. It's more of a traditional style, so if you're building, I don't know, a ship, a suspension bridge in your backyard, this is your guy. It's 100% boss. And then we go over to the Caddy Mig 200. Now, this thing is unreal, man. 26 pounds, all in. 26 pounds. Yet the output on it is rated like a 185. So us weekend warrior guys, man, there's nothing we can't build, we can't put together with something like this. The lightest in its output class. You're not gonna find one lighter, super portable, makes it really easy to go from there to right over there and start welding.
Now, speaking of going from here to there, I'm gonna grab our Power Cut 400 plasma cutter so we can start carving it up, shaping it, stitching it all back together. Meet us over at the fab bench. We've got our top sort of gusset plate just tacked on in a couple of spots so we can remove it, but for now we can start setting up to fit this guy in here, which obviously is not quite fitting just yet. So
Needs
what do you got
trimming.
for us?
Needs a little trim. Well, while you guys were at lunch, I was working with a little CAD program here, cardboard aided design.
Sure.
We got a nice little template ready to go.
Okay.
We'll get some plasma cutting.
All right, man. Now we'll bring it over here, right? And just scribe it onto this guy. So it's gonna go like this. Let's see, I believe that's gonna be our boy right here. So just kind of line it up like this. Get a good follow. This is where we're gonna cut with the Power Cut 400. Anytime you can burn some metal, that's a good day. Always smart to C-clamp a straight edge. That way when you pull the plasma cutter to you, you can guarantee yourself a smooth, straight, easy cut. Man, what an unreal, sweet cutting machine right here. Now, I'll show you a couple cool features to make sure it's off. You see this little PIP light? Parts in place. I'm sure you come across that out there. If your tip isn't on right or you're missing a component, it will scream this light right here, PIP, parts in place, and it won't allow the machine to come on. Probably comes in handy out there when you're working on a rig and you're hustling, right?
Saves your torch, saves your equipment. Speaking of that, this machine also comes with a nice package of consumables, comes in real handy, all organized, gives you part numbers, so easy to order new stuff.
Yeah, man, it's a great little machine, super portable, packs a nice little warranty. Highly recommend you get this thing. It's rated at 3/8 inch, but it'll sever a 1/2 inch plate of steel. So that's a whole lot of punch in a little tiny package, man. It's the Power Cut 400 from ESAB. Tough stuff, like my man Andrew
Nice
here.
cut.
Thanks, man. Now let's get this piece on, because I got 3 more to do. Hey, real quick tip, never block the airflow in the plasma cutter. You want to start off the edge and then come back towards your surface. All right, got the rear end, kind of starting to put these first pieces together. You can see it's kind of keyed in here, and they're going to be indexed in these little slots. Now, we trim a little fat, that way we can go back and kind of massage them in, right?
Yep, always a good idea. You can't do it twice, so.
Right. All right, is to have more than a little bit less. So this piece is gonna get keyed up in here like so. It's gonna look something like this when it's all said and done. And then we'll pull this off, massage these surfaces down here, a little better mating surface, but you can see it kind of starting to come together. So we'll cut these off, trim these guys up, have it tacked back together up on here.
We've all done it. We've just jumped on jobs and gotten dirty, greasy. We put our hands in chemicals that we shouldn't have, but we don't have to. We've got a whole lineup of black style gloves from Adina. Now, most of these right here are all nitrile. Nitril's great, very little allergens, so you don't have to worry about any kind of irritations on your skin. They're real soft, easy to work with, nice dexterity. A lot of people like the Shadow. It's a 6mm glove. Really good for just about anything you do, but you can step up to a 9mm. And if you like latex, they've got a black latex version as well. Those are typically a little bit more sticky, maybe a little bit more grip. So whatever you need, Adina's got you covered in the black sort of automotive heavy duty segment. So check them out. Adina gloves, take care of yourself, go home clean to your significant other. They're gonna appreciate it. When you're doing maintenance and repairs on your vehicle, one area you don't want to skimp is on your brakes. Now, it acts as a complete system from the calipers, the pads, all the hardware, the clips, all the way down to the rotors. Now, there's a lot of little features you want to pay attention to when you're purchasing a rotor. things like the plate thickness, right? Lateral runout, the variability in thickness, surface finish, even the SAE metallurgical specifications, right? All those features are designed in from the OE, and you want to make sure that they go back on your vehicle when you do those repairs. Now, when you get a thinner rotor, like an offshore, it might be cheaper, it might save you a couple of bucks, but it's not going to give you the safety and the stopping power you need. Things that have high carbon in them are going to make more noise, they're going to squeal, make a lot more brake dusting. And important is the weight, how much material is sitting there. So by thinning it out, when you take kinetic energy from a vehicle, by friction you turn it into heat, and it doses the rotor. So you need a certain amount of capacity to hold that heat. So by thinning these sections out, not having the right vein thickness locations, you're compromising the integrity of the rotor and your whole brake system, you and your family's safety. So make sure you check out a real high quality rotor like these. They're the SST from Federated, and you can pick them up at Federated Auto Parts.
The 3M Body Repair System takes a 4-step approach to help you fix a dent at home. The system takes you through the prepare, repair, fill, and finish steps. When making the repair, all the 3M products are numbered and color-coded so you know exactly which product you should use in each stage and when. Repairs are easier with numbered and color-coded 3M and Bondo products. The 3M Body Repair System takes you from removing the paint from the dented area through making the repair and filling in the dent with Bondo Body Filler and getting the panel ready for paint. After painting, move to step 4 to finish with fine grit sanding abrasives and compounds to remove surface imperfections. This system with 3M and Bondo products gives you everything you need and the satisfaction of a job well done. This tip is brought to you by 3M Auto, smarter solutions through science.
All right, man. So tell me, King of the Hammer's got to be the craziest ride ever. This is Andrew. He drives his Ultra 4 machine, and the big race for these guys is King of the Hammers.
Yeah, King of the Hammer is down in Southern California. You got to check it out. It's about 2 hours east of LA.
Yeah.
In the Mojave Desert, some of the wildest, nastiest terrain you've ever seen.
It's big rocks, huge jumps, and that's why you need something like this, okay? This is no parking lot pavement princess, all right? This is one beefed up 9-inch. You can see our plates here. We're kind of setting up now. We got another big gusset we're going to put on the back of this. But this is why Andrew and guys that run this type of race team up with ESAB, the biggest and widest selection of welding and cutting equipment on earth, man. And they're 100% legit. Love it.
Yeah. Well, I get to play around with our new Caddy MiG 200. Now this thing is pretty cool because it's got some brains built into it. Now MiG is great for a lot of guys because you just squeeze the trigger. And all you got to do is set 2 dials, your wire feed and your voltage. Well, when you come in to set wire feed, what number do you put? How fast does that wire really come out? Well, with the brain in here, I can go from manual mode to Q setter automatic. So I automatically just look at thickness of material. It's bringing the amperage with the wire feed based on this thickness. So I can kind of look and say, I've got 16th, I've got 1/8 inch, I've got whatever. I can dial this guy in, everything is great. Well, the smarts is bringing the voltage. So voltage isn't necessarily what you're thinking about, the punch. That's wire feed and amperage. But voltage is kind of making that even bacon sound, that poppity, 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 poppity. You want it nice and bacon and crispy. You don't want that stuttery, sputter, you know? So that's what the voltage is going to do, and this is going to set that for you. Now, if you don't like, the way it's running and you want to change it a little bit, you can come up here and adjust that, and you can see the little thermometer there. Now, we're going to run something maybe a little bit cold and show you how to set it up. So you really want to get your wire feed amperage set first, and then tweak in your voltage so it's nice and bacony crisp. So you can see it's a little bit proud there, so maybe I'll turn this guy up a little bit. The voltage was coming in right nice. It was nice, even sort of sound to it. So it's starting to flatten out a little bit more. I'm feeling pretty good about it. And if you want to get tricky, you can start to do a little bit of a weave on it, get the little bit of feather pattern, whatever you like. As long as you're getting good penetration, even heat, you're going to get a good weld. So a little bit more playing around with this. I'll be ready to jump over on that thing. We're going to tack it first, then start welding it up. If you're not quite sure of your fit and just want to tack some things together, a good idea is just to put a tack where you can still come back with a grinder and cut it off. All right, boys, come on.
right.
Come on, bring it in. Bring it in. That's looking pretty awesome already.
So here's our first brace over our already beefy 4 9-inch.
All right. Tell me when you like where it's at.
All right, I want to line it right up to this front weld right here.
Okay, you ready?
Give it a squeeze.
Here we go.
Watch the eyes. Yeah, I was gonna need some waffles.
I'm getting hungry. Bacon with my waffles, please.
Okay.
Here we go. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. So that guy's held on there. We got our back brace going, so let's get that finished fitting up and tack it on.
Cool. Give it a little rotate.
Okay. Okay, got this side. Willie, take that. Give it a good hold. All right, man. We are on our way to having one of the most robust and stout rear ends you can get. All right, we're gonna take a break. Be back in a minute.
K&W's FiberLock head gasket and block repair from CRC is the latest technology in permanent repair for cracked engine blocks or head gaskets. FiberLock is a permanent leak repair product that is easy to use. Just pour and go. It's not necessary to drain the cooling system first. It's reinforced with military strength fibers to create a web-like weave over the crack for multi-layer repair. Do it yourself and save money on a vehicle that might not be worth the cost of repair. Q-Bond from K-Tool International bonds almost anything in 10 seconds. It can handle high heat and high pressure repairs up to 356 degrees Fahrenheit, up to 1300 psi, and is gas and oil resistant. Q-Bond will hold up to grinding, sanding, tapping, and drilling. You can even paint over the repair. It's a 2-step system. Start with a quick bonding adhesive, then use the black powder for different applications such as distributor caps, bumpers, lugs, clips, and radiators, or the gray powder for motorcycle fairings, carburetors, and other metal surfaces. You can find Q-Bond at Federated Auto Parts. Check out these E3 spark plugs. They have a unique ground electrode that encourages more turbulence in the air-fuel mixture for a more complete burn, which leads to better power and fuel efficiency, while creating fewer emissions. Compared to a traditional spark plug, E3's unique diamond fire ground electrode design has multiple sharp edges. This means that the spark doesn't repeatedly travel to the same spot, ensuring a longer spark plug life. Those sharp edges and that open design of the ground electrode means a more consistent spark and a larger flame front, making more energy. When doing a brake job, using the old hardware is the biggest mistake you can make. You'll hear it every time you step on the pedal. To protect your investment in your new pads, you need to always replace all the hardware with new springs, bolts, and new clips. Why would you use fatigued springs, rusty worn-out bolts, and corroded clips? New hardware is guaranteed to save you a headache and a whole lot of time and money. So be sure and protect your investment. Always replace your springs, bolts, and clips with quality new parts. So throw out the old worn-out parts and replace it with new brake hardware every time you do your brake job, because nobody wants to do the job twice.
For more information about anything you've seen in today's show, check out mavtv.com or visit our website at TwoGuysGarage.com. This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by Seatbelt Solutions, the safest seatbelt money can buy.
Okay, man, come on through. There you go.
Got it?
Perfect.
Great.
Okay, now obviously we have a lot of welding to do. It's going to take a little while, but we wanted to show you some of the next steps just so you could see how it all comes together. Now, when you're welding this much material, things are going to move around, right? So this is going to happen after we're done welding, and and we want to stitch things together. So you're getting it all to move a little bit, move a little bit, move a little bit. So it's kind of uniform in how it's moving around. Then we'll come to the next step. Tell us what we're doing with the flanges.
Yeah, so we got these pucks from Performance Cryogenics and this alignment bar jig that we use after we finish welding with all the heat affected areas after everything moves, and that's our final step. We use this bar to align everything straight. After that, we could tack these ends in and weld them all down for good.
Yeah, make sure your axles are running nice and true.
Yeah,
everything
perfect.
is straight. So.
Yeah, and then we'll get this thing underneath our Pathfinder, be good to go.
Yeah. Well, man, I appreciate you bringing the truck in. That was an awesome thing to mess around with. Let's go next door and hit some of the dirt and berms and stuff over there.
It really is an amazing thing what these guys can do in these sort of, you know, performance-based machines. You're talking big time air, big time rocks, things that you would never believe you can get over or get past. They do it on a daily basis and for hours. So a lot of fun. Check it out. Go Google it or something. King of the Hammers. Go Google our man Andrew. He's behind the wheel of this beast, man, along with on the road and fabbing up stuff in the shop and on the trail, because you know he's hammering it, he's driving it, and he's breaking it.
Speaking of performance machines, man, we had our blast bringing in the ESOP, all the welders, the plasma cutters. And I think you should just kind of leave those here. Since you're all sponsored and everything, you just get another set back at your shop.
Hey, he needs one. I could use one here.
What
Yeah, I
if
already wrote
what
my
if I
name
say
on
no?
Well, you
Please?
can take the welders and we'll just keep the truck. I mean, take your pick. It's
I'll
your
talk
choice,
to some
man.
people at ESOP, see what I can do.
I mean, obviously they have all kind of stuff. We got to play with the Caddy MiG today, but they have a ton of new items coming up. So make sure you check it out. It's built by welders for welders. Welders have actual input on these machines.
Yeah, what I also like too is they have a 3-year warranty, which is pretty huge.
Yeah, big.
And a 100-day. If you don't like it, anything wrong, you bring it back, they're gonna make it right. So, you know what? I had fun. You have fun today?
Great times, great stopping and seeing you guys.
3 Guys Garage. I think we're gonna sign out. We'll see you guys next time.